So we live in a world where Europe dominated and took over the world. What if that didn't happen? What if Western civilization never rose to prominence? But we're gonna have to go back to the very beginning. What could be the alternatives? Native Americans? Very, very unlikely. Considering the fact that they don't have any horses. Africa? Well, the problem is there's a giant ass desert separating Africa from the rest of the world. And then we have Asia, the only other area that could have become a powerful civilization, like with Europe nowadays. What if the world was far, far different? We're gonna start from the beginning of civilization. We'll just be using colors to refer to the countries, or we can refer to the country names. The first country is created as a city, the state. Petitano was created. Petitano is the capital city of this area. Petitano starts to expand out. The king eagerly wants to take some land. The Petitano kingdom continues to expand. Agriculture is the reason why the Petitano kingdom is the first country to expand outside of its city. But disaster struck and Petitano collapsed. The second civilization, Arstatavia, pops up. Arstatavia becomes the first major civilization. Arstatavia is able to expand into areas that have never been discovered before by any civilization. Arstatavia creates the first written language as well as agriculture. So, unlike Pataravo, the civilization before it. You know what? We'll just be calling it like that. But Arstatavo continues to expand to the north as well, creating the world's first empire. Where Arstatavo creates the world's first empire. Yeah. This country, Arstatavo, will be considered the grandfather of civilizations. The king dies and disaster strikes. Pentatana declares independence from Arstatavo. Pentatana is a separate civilization that gained its independence. It is a lesser populated area. Also, we will be putting the capital cities down here. Pentatavo gained their independence from Arstatavo, for gaining their independence. But the second civilization pops up in the southern Arabian Peninsula. This unnamed civilization starts to expand, appears. It is a coastal trading network of trading cities that wants to trade with Pentatavo and Arstatavo. This civilization will be called Traversa. Traversa is basically a group of nomadic tribes. This is the first civilization that is basically considered a ethno-state. Traversas basically make up 98% of the population and are mostly a merchant class. Meanwhile, Arstatavo has multiple, including Arstatavans and various other ethnicities, mostly on the borders of the towns. And Pentatago is mostly Pentatagon, with several Arstatavo minority groups in the southern border, and also several Turkic groups, including Canarians and Tapatans. The border Traverso founded a capital city to trade with its new friend, the Takatan city-states. The Takatan city-states are basically the city-states that exist on the border of the sea here. Oh yeah, this is the Persian Gulf. I think this is the Red. I think it's like the Red Sea. Yeah, I'm not the most smartest person on the planet, but the Tent- Pentacons then create. Oh yeah, Pentacons are here. The Tention city states are created. Well, I think this is the Red Sea. Yeah, the Red Sea area. Yeah, and basically are left alone. Austinophians do decide to expand a little bit more, discovering a new civilization, the Patovians. The Patovians are a small civilization with very sparse population and are also a coastal civilization. They are these, besides the Tentian city states, the the Patovians, Yens, Yens, however, are very friendly people. But the Arsenavians do not like the country's existence, so they start to declare war. The Arsenavians do try to take out the area, but they can't because they're being spread too thin. We gotta remember the Ashkenazis only have a population of 2 to 3, only have a population of around 7 million, half of which are in the capital city. Agriculture has thus been figured out, and they continue to struggle without being able to wage warfare. This causes the Ashkenavian Empire to collapse as well, causing the country to cease to exist. Country will be remembered in the history books almost certainly, but another state takes its place. Countries do will change names like in real life, and this new country will rise in its shape. This is the Popin dynasty. Or the Popin state. They take over the state of the Arsenavian, and the capital is here. The Popin state continues to expand south into the Persian area. The Ashkenazians, however, flee to India, creating a civilization in India. Yeah, this is the first Asian civilization. Oh wait, that's a Patovan colony. They, however, flee to here. They create a new civilization of the Naira civilization. This becomes a very important civilization. It is here. However, the Naira is forced to exclude its however, the Naira civilization moves further south to go away from the uninhabitable Himalayan mountains. And the capital city was founded right here. The Middle Eastern civilizations basically create a trade route with these civilizations. The major trade route goes through Popin and goes to Naira and Pentanago. It is a very, very primitive trade route. Also, there's a trade route between these two and here, and this area and here, which leads to the Popin capital. This is the center of trade of the ancient world. And 99% of the world's GDP is in this area. Another civilization pops up, and it is the Ashkenazis. The Ashkenazis create their civilization and start to expand rapidly. The Ashkenazis are not scared to expand their civilization. They start in Persia, but also eventually start to spread to Pakistan as well. Create a large civilization. The country started from a small coastal city here to a massive civilization. Yeah. The Cremant city-states are now here. They are now another very important. They're basically a bunch of city-states that have basically formed their own empires, their own civilization. No city has any authority, so they don't have a capital city. However, these city-states, do not exist anymore, and however, the Thuringia need to find someone else to trade with. So, they're forced to trade with the Popan Empire. The Thuringia civilization, their economy shrinks in half, with a GDP shrinking from 300 million to simply around 110 million. These GDP numbers may seem small compared to the trillions today, but you gotta realize the ancient world didn't really have much population, and its GDP wasn't very high. The Travolta only have a population of 7 million. Again. Yeah. These states in this colony are basically destroyed. However, the colony gains an independent state right before it's destroyed. And that is a new civilization. The Indus. They create a capital city in the coastal areas. Yeah. So civilization has started in the Middle East. I've viewed small civilizations. There hasn't been many massive empires yet, as well. And also civilization has not spread into Europe and Africa. In this world, it has spread east towards China. Naira and Indus settlers continue to move towards this area. They start to realize that there's a lot of fertile land here. There's a lot of fertile land in India. Yeah. And several more civilizations pop up to take advantage of these areas. Yes. These new civilizations pop up. The Darsa and the Tessa. The Darsa and the Tessa become very important civilizations. Since most of the countries have been very friendly towards each other. Meanwhile, the Pentatonic king wants to expand northward, creating a civilization around the Caspian Sea. The kingdom realizes this is an inland sea and is not separated by land. It is not a massive ocean like the tale said. As well, the Indus changes their name to around the capital city, which is called Pretoria. Yeah. That's the new civilization name. The next civilization appears down here, in the Bangladeshi River Basin. This civilization is the Trengus. This civilization is the furthest civilization away from the countries here, and not many countries really border each other at this current moment, which means that all the insane things like wars and battles, and a civil wars could happen, but many of the wars and battles that are known for in the early civilization do not happen, as many countries do not border each other. However, there is a split between Disa and Dorsa. Yeah, Dorsa claims this little tiny bit of land here, and Tisa does not like it. Yet, both countries go to war. Tisa starts to invade some of Dorsa as well. No, Dorsa starts to invade the disputed territory of Disa. Yeah, so Naira doesn't do anything, but Dorsa does not like the fact that Tisa is taking the territory as well, and Tisa is continuing to be pushed back. Most of Caesar's armies now arrived at the front lines and now start to put Dorsa back. Dorsa, with its smaller population, is mostly concentrated across the capital city. Start basically they capture the capital and Dorsa loses. In the war, they'll have to figure out give one of the provinces up to Tisa, losing land. Dorsa, upset about this, starts to expand south. Since they know the Himalayas at the north is a mountain range, Dorsa starts to expand south. Another civilization is created down here, where this civilization is called Alex. This country has a coastal city around here. Here, the new trade center is now in India. The Middle Eastern countries have kind of lost the monopoly over the trade. There have been trade into Africa and now into even Europe and the Caucasian regions, but there's no massive civilizations. There's small towns and city-states that dot the areas. There's also been trade into China as well and Indochina as well. Trade also goes all the way up into Korea and Siberia as well. A trade network is now pretty big, but it does take years for them to come from, for example, for this Bangladeshi civilization, called Trinidad, to all the way to Europe. However, this civilization does not really survive that long and is erased from existence since. It's only remembered in history books in India as well. A new civilization pops up in the southern ports of India. The continental exists as a civilization. The continental civilization exists. It is now the largest and most populated civilization by far. Meanwhile, in the Middle East, new civilizations are now forming. This is a civilization of Tenaria. Tenaria was created by a bunch of tribes up here, and start to expand relatively quickly. Tenaria also tames the horse, which is a very important part of human history. The capital will be in this new fully founded city. The new Gantaka civilizations pop up here as well, as the Gantaka basically want to form their own civilization. This Eastern Kazakh related civilization pops up randomly out of the blue. And also creates a capital up here. Meanwhile, the Indian civilizations, since here, another civilization pops up in India, blocking Dorsa and Tisa, and basically is settlers from both civilizations who are fed up of the current governments, and create a new kingdom called the Kingdom of Taika. This is a new civilization that pops up as well and creates its capital around here. There hasn't been really massive empires yet, but there might be one pretty soon. A new civilization is created in this small area, coastal area, claiming basically all of this land here. Massacre is a new civilization that was formed and also has a capital of here. There's also now a trade hub in this little area here. Here, creating trade between Massacre, Potovia, and Astion. All three civilizations are still under the breathing neck of Popin. Popin has been quiet and silent a lot of the time, but the new king is now an expansionist king and starts to surround Mestavia with Messika and Pentiavan are pretty scared as they start to expand greatly as well. And we might be seeing the first extinctions of civilizations. The Popin also expand towards the Timurians as well, and start to expand into modern-day Israel and Lebanon. The Popin civilization also is the first civilization to extend into Egypt, and they also realize how fertile the Nile River is as well. They become the first civilization to become in Egypt as well. Popin is the current world superpower, as basically the world is just India and the Middle East at this current moment. However, a new civilization forms in Myanmar/Burma. Well, this small coastal civilization is a strange one. They're the first countries to call themselves a republic. This is a collection of Bassa city-states. They're basically this world's equivalent to Greece. New and strange forms of government are being tested in the Bassa city-states. There's also a lot of war in the Bassa city-states as well. Well, and it's kind of like the Holy Roman Empire. Yeah. But the main city-state and the most important one is Bissa, which is the capital, which is the yellow one highlighted. However, Popin declares war on Messika. Messika, of course, stands absolutely no chance as Popin invades the capital relatively quickly. Popin defeats Messika and basically annexes their entire country. 3. Oppressing Messika through years of oppression. As well, Astion and Potovia create a military pact to stop the expansion of Popin. Potovia starts to expand into western Kotal and Bahrain, as well as basically this like Chile, is similar to Chile. It's mostly a coastal country. They're not really expanding too much inward as it's just useless desert for now. Astion also starts to expand into more the area that block Popin off from expanding into India. Yeah. As the Indian civilizations are kind of blocked off. The Astion are kind of like the Popin's rivals. Popin does not like this, and basically they declare war on the Pentovian and Aston civilizations, but also declare war on the Petovian and Timurian civilizations. This is a pretty bad move for Popin, as it's a four-front war. The Astons start to move in the lesser populated areas of Popin, alongside the Pentatonians, which also move towards the lesser populated areas of Popin, which are more mountainous. But they do get blocked off by this area because of the capital region. The Timurians start to expand in towards the Fertile Crescent area. This is a very unpopulated area as it was sparsely settled. There have been more Timurian settlers, and they start to expand further south. The Egyptian colony also starts to break away as well and creates their own independent civilization. Popin realizes they're not winning this war and sues for peace against all parties. The Aztan party, no, Aztan gains the area here. Pentatonian gains the provinces back that they lost during the last that they gained. So basically, they gained a bunch of majority Pentatonian provinces. The Egyptian state gains their independence, and also gains parts of here and here. And this is the Castanovans. The Castanovans gained their independence from Popin as well. Meanwhile, India is brewing for trouble. Another civilization pops up, which is a brownish color here. And this is the water civilization. Yeah, this country is really called water. As well. Also, a new civilization, which is this weird color, is the Sanin civilization. The Sanin civilization also popped up as well while the massive war begins. As well. Tensions are pretty high in India, with all the civilizations in Soto land. Naira, the first civilization in India, also starts to expand into southern territories as well. And also Alex starts to expand into areas blocking Sanin from expanding. Sanin and Continental, not knowing how to expand, declare war on Naira, Alex, and Tika as well. Tika starts to take land from Sanin, and Continental starts to take land from Alex as well. Prexa stays out of this mostly, and Naira also starts to take land. This becomes a massive total war that no countries are prepared for. Sanin hopes to take some of the Sanin, majority populations to reconnect their ethnic lands as well. Well, this war was hard fought and bloodied. This was the second deadliest war in history, and the borders changed will be very, very subtle. Sanin will gain many of the ethnic territories. Continental will gain this area from Alex, and Naira will also gain this area from Alex, expanding their civilizations greatly. Meanwhile, Alex which is the Protovian colony, is now in disarray. But meanwhile, a small group of Dawsons settled in a strange area. This is China. A new civilization was formed. This will become the most important civilization to become. The Xin was founded. And that's where we're going to leave it on here. Goodbye.